Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Let's Play TEW. My name is Paul Laporte, and we are going to be picking right up where we left off. But before we do, I did want to give a special thanks to people who had given me their feedback, including Colin Kazim and, of course, my man Derek Kenny. Gave me some really great tips and pointers as far as playing this game goes, and I appreciate all of the feedback I get for this show and for all of the other shows we do here at Changing the Questions. So I just wanted to shout out to you guys first. I have gone ahead and fast forwarded to the next month after our big weekend, and much to my pleasant surprise, we have pulled down almost $18,000 in profit, which, again, I kind of have to laugh at how Total Extreme Wrestling handles money for the independent scene, because just about any independent promotion that isn't Ring of Honor, if they make $17,000 in a month, they're losing their minds. But still, it's good that we pulled the profits. So we are going to move on to month number 2 now. We're going to do at least one more show, and we're going to try and get some other stuff set up that we haven't dealt with so far, including a media deal. Now, I got a notification that this is that how is it put, that media companies are scheduling their programming so I can try and work out a TV deal. So to do that, I am going to search for TV networks. I'm going to filter by those who will cover or who will deal with small companies. And you'll see that there's a lot of local television. So I could get like a local TV deal, but I think the better thing to do is to do something similar to what 2SW actually did, which is to get some sort of YouTube situation set up. Now, obviously, in the real world, you don't need to get a programming deal with YouTube necessarily, but it basically works like another television network here. So I am going to apply for a new show. So we're going to request that. Request has been made and added to your decision list. You can expect a response in a short while. Please remember that you can make a request to as many networks as you like, but can only create one new TV show per pre-season. Okay, so I guess with that in mind, let's see, is there a local tri-state television? I guess New England would be. No, see, I can't even do that because they won't, the minimum size. Oh, the size is tiny, the style is cult. But in any case, I don't meet the minimum requirements of this network. Minimum font size small, risk levels medium. My prestige may not be high enough to do actual local television. So I guess we'll just stick with YouTube, and I guess we'll apply for Ustream as well. And we'll do that. Same thing. Okay. Close that out. So now that we have the TV deal requested, we are going to start to plan towards our next show. And one of the initial handy tips that I was given by people is to check the calendar for availability, so I can actually see who's wrestling on what weekends rather than just being completely fucking blindsided by it like I was last time. Let me go ahead and take a look. Schedule here. Where's the calendar? Calendar. Okay, so we pull up the calendar. The dates with X's are all the days that I have some talent that's unavailable. Everybody's available on Mondays and Tuesdays. Oh boy, I'm not running a show on Monday or Tuesday night, so that's not going to help me. Obviously, the big weekends, or the big days we're looking at, are the weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would prefer to not do Friday. And on top of that, our champion Ricochet is working every Friday and every Sunday for Dragon Gate. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can find a sweet spot here in the Saturday bookings to see if we can get enough people on the roster or pick up a couple new people to fill it out. All right, so let's take a look here. Saturdays. Week 1, Ricochet is busy. Week 2, Ricochet is busy. Week 3, Ricochet is clear, so our champ is clear. Week 4, our champ is clear, but AR Fox, one of the guys with more momentum in the company right now, is not there. So I think we're going to go with week 3 here. Week 3, we are going to be missing Cherry Bomb, who I believe is injured right now anyways. Dalton Castle is going to be working for Ring of Honor. Heidi Lovelace is going to be working for Shimmer. Actually, I heard that she just got cut by Shimmer, so she might open up. Jessica Havoc, I'd like to have her on the card too because she has a lot of momentum, but I think we're just going to have to work with what we've got here. So we're going to aim to book for the 3rd Saturday in February, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Add event, there we go. Name. What are we going to name this one? 2CW. We'll call it Straight Ahead. What size do we want to do? Now, last time we did medium. That's the maximum size we can do. Almost always run the biggest size of events possible in order to maximize its potential profits. Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep going with a medium show then. Length, we'll keep it at 2 hours. No brand, no name postfix, nothing like that. Status active, any changes that we need to do? No, this isn't going to be any sort of special card, nothing like that. Schedule, I guess we'll keep it at annual. We can just keep the same name. And we're going to be doing that on Saturday of the 3rd week in the month of February. So we'll save and exit here. Okay, so we're good for that. And again, just double checking calendar. 3rd week, Saturday. We have an event scheduled. All right, we're good to go. All right, so it's at this point of the show that I'm going to go ahead and plan out the card, think about it, and 2CW, state ahead. Okay, I guess I gotta rename the show here because I'm an asshole. Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and get that corrected. And or maybe I should leave it. I don't know. And then we will book the show, and then we will discuss my booking decisions, or at least my pre-booking, and then we'll go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and our next event is booked completely. Just some notes about what happened in the transition. We have picked up a couple other wrestlers, namely Leo Rush and Shinron, so they're going to put on a good, fast-paced, high-flying, early-on mid-card match. And then we have Ricochet versus AR Fox is going to be for the 2CW Heavyweight Championship. Our co-main or our semi-main is Matt Cross versus Eddie Edwards. I might slip one of these other matches in there. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and slip Dick Justice and Punisher Van Slyke in here, just as kind of like a cool-down match. So we'll do that. EDM taking on Prakash Sabar and Bin Hameen for the tag titles. We got some segments added in too, so I could stretch things out. Only 8 matches on this card. So we have some self-promotion, some announcer hype. We have 2 Infinity and Beyond taking on Sean Carr and Isis Effects, furthering the storyline between Sean Carr and Colin Delaney. Jay Freddy's taking on Kevin Graham. Bobby Ocean's taking on Jason Axe. And since I do have some good microphone skills, he says as he bobbles the word microphone skills, I've decided to add myself as just kind of like an announcer to hype up like the first half and then second half of the show. So hopefully I can use some of that to get the crowd going a little bit. But this is the overall card that we have. I think I'm going to change a few things around, just add a few notes now that I'm thinking of them. I want this one to warm the crowd up because it's going to be our opener. So we'll save that. So that's the Jay Freddy and Kevin Graham one, and then we'll do the same for the Dick Justice and Punisher Van Slyke one too. So we're gonna work the crowd, build them up, save that. Tried to make the matches a little bit shorter, except for Ricochet and AR Fox is going almost 20 minutes. Same thing with the tag team match, going a little bit longer, but everything else is going to be under 15 minutes here, and some of them are even shorter, you know. So that's what we have right now. 14 segments taking 115 minutes, so we're 5 minutes short of the 2-hour mark, but that's plenty. And to make things a little bit stressful on myself, I have taken the advice that has been suggested by some of the people giving feedback. I've changed the segment ratings from grade letters to actual numbers, and I've also been told that to not worry about that too much, just because, you know, unestablished guys or lower end guys, even good independent workers, are going to have low ratings from their matches, so to not be too stressed out about that. So I'm going to take all of that advice to heart, and we're going to go ahead and get ready and run the show. Point of no return. Alright, so this is the initial angle with me. And, okay, 27's not bad. From what I've seen so far, they've been anything that's going to be like in the 25 to 40 range is probably what we're expecting as good overall here. So, that's good. Get the crowd going early, hopefully on. Jay Freddy and Kevin Graham. Jay Freddy getting the win here. I've also been told that you can take a little bit of the mystery out of this rating by turning off the dirt sheet style of match descriptions. I actually decided I'm going to keep that just because I want it to be a little bit more mysterious. I want to, you know, have to try and think and do the work, do the legwork a little bit more. Can't talk. All right, next match, To Infinity and Beyond. In an awful match that was completely devoid of feat, To Infinity and Beyond defeated Sean Carr and Isis Effects in 9:36 when Colin Delaney defeated Sean Carr by pinfall with the DDT. Storyline has advanced Colin Delaney off his game tonight, but not a bad rating, not a terrible rating, 28, so that's good. AR Fox hyping himself up, same rating, 28, that's good. Bobby Ocean versus Jason Axe. I'm trying to build up Bobby Ocean a little bit. Appears Jason Axe was off his game, so the match wasn't very good. But I'm trying to get some momentum behind Bobby Ocean, so we can make something out of him. Because I think that we can turn him into an upper mid card or even a main eventer with a little bit of work. Leo Rush and Shinron, surprising. I would have expected these two to have a better match together. Let's see, so Leo Rush and Shinron both debuted. It's also possible that because they're both debuting, Leo Rush was visibly tiring towards the end. 8-minute match and he was tiring out. Okay, well, I can keep that in mind. I thought maybe Leo Rush was ready for this spot. Maybe not, so maybe we need to kind of keep him more in the opener. Maybe pairing him up with Bobby Ocean, either as a tag team or in a rivalry, might not be a bad idea. So we'll have to keep that in mind. All right. Ooh, I did one better than I did initially, or two better, so that's good. Hyping up for the second half. Ben Hameen and Prakash Spar come out and cut a promo. It didn't go over super great, okay. EDM and Prakash Spar and Ben Hameen. Awful match, devoid of heat. Electric Dream Machine making defense at number 2 of their 2 CW Tag Team titles. Bout dragged in the middle with a lack of flow being noticeable. Maybe it was a little bit too long. I like to give tag team matches a little bit more time, but perhaps 17 minutes was a bit much. Maybe for the next show we're gonna bring in a more established tag team and maybe do a tag title change. I don't know. I kind of want to keep the tag titles local, so we'll have to see about that when we book the next show. Matt Cross and Eddie Edwards, decent match. Bout that had good crowd and some decent in-ring action. Eddie Edwards defeating Matt Cross by submission. Heidi Lovelace, there simply wasn't enough time to do a slow build approach. Okay, that's too bad. So I kind of screwed that up. I wanted to do a slow build, but I only did like a 13 or 14 minute match, so I guess I need to do longer next time. Still not a bad match, but we'll have to keep that in mind for the future. I did have Eddie Edwards win. Heidi Lovelace was not able to work this particular show because Shimmer was running an event at the same time. This is actually the reason that there are no women on this card, is because all the women on my roster and a couple of women that I'm interested in picking up, that came out wrong, some women that I'm interested in having on the card were all at the Shimmer show. So there's no women on this card, but that will be fixed in the future. Nonetheless, 31 so far, I think our highest rating for a match so far, so that's good. Alright, so we're going to turn Eddie Edwards heel, I think, and this is actually got a pretty good reaction, so if we can do something with this to turn him heel, I think that we can potentially have a good foil to Heidi Lovelace in their feud, even though I know Eddie doesn't like putting Heidi over, but we might do some sort of tag match between Eddie Edwards and someone versus Heidi Lovelace and someone else, and further their feud that way. But still, it's good to see that the crowd is reacting to Eddie Edwards being a heel in a positive way. So that's something that's good to know. Okay, so this was our cool down match. Dick Justice and Punisher Van Slyke. Dick Justice really off his game tonight. Okay, didn't expect much from this match. That's fine. And this is our main event. A match that had an average crowd reaction and some decent in-ring action. Ricochet defeated AR Fox 15 minutes, 32 seconds by pinfall with Chocolate Rain. Ricochet makes defense number 1 of his 2CW Heavyweight Championship title. Both guys visibly tiring towards the end. Okay, so we'll have to... I did set this match to go for both guys to go all out, too. So, take that for what it's worth. Maybe next time I have these two, if I want to do one this long, maybe I'll have it be more of a slow build. And then do it that way. I did this match because I want to see how well these two were going to work, because with Ricochet having a lot of dates and he's busy at a lot of different times, I might consider taking the belt off of him and putting it on AR Fox or maybe somebody else. I don't know. But in any case, good show, good match by both of these guys, so that's a good way to end the night. And then we had them shaking hands afterwards just because I want Ricochet to be our sportsmanlike champion, and AR Fox is a babyface as well, so a little sign of respect there at the end. Okay, final rating, 31, which I believe was better than the last one that we did. Still the general feeling that 2CW doesn't have enough interesting storylines going on. I'm okay with that right now. I wanted to have these first few shows be kind of a feeling out process to see who works together well. I'm going to probably add a few more storylines for the next show, and then see how that goes. Now, one of the other things that happened while we were on the break, or while I fast-forwarded through everything else, is we did get a TV offer from Ustream, so I'm currently working out details on that. It's probably going to be like an hour show, and I'll have that be like a smaller B show, not a B show, but a smaller show to the live events that I'm planning on holding once a month. Let's go ahead and make our speech. Workers to focus upon. Me? No. Let's see. Who do we want to single out here? Who do we want to point to? Well, I think we will do AR Fox and Ricochet, considering they put on one of the better matches of the night, and also Eddie Edwards for putting on a good performance. Plus, his morale is still kind of shitty because he's still being a baby about having to lose to Heidi Lovelace a fucking month ago. So we'll give him a nice little pat on the head too. So we're gonna praise both of these guys for a great performance. Eddie Edwards. You're awesome, Eddie. There, Fox seems pleased. And Eddie was pleased with speech. Wonderful. So a quick look at some other additions to the roster we've made recently. In addition to Leo Rush and Shinron, we have also signed LuFisto and Vanessa Craven, both women that are stalwarts in Shimmer and throughout the women's wrestling scene. Both women I've seen in person, and I have actually been punched in the face by LuFisto. I will tell that story at a later date, but I thought that there would be a good couple women to add to our roster of Heidi Lovelace and Jessica Havoc and whatnot. We have also lost Sami Callihan. His contract expired. He wasn't interested in renewing it, so I don't know if he's going to be getting like a written deal with TNA. I know he was working with them. So in any case, so we lost one big name, but then we also picked up Roderick Strong, who I'm going to work into. Maybe I'll work him as a tag team with Eddie Edwards or something like that. I think I'm going to have him come in as a heel, but I haven't decided yet. But it's good that we have him in. I think he's going to be a great addition to the roster. So a couple more changes made there. I am going to fast forward this. We are in the third week, so I'm going to fast forward this until we have some more information about the television show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and as you can see, we have our first weekly television show booked to CW Crossfire. We worked out the deal with Ustream, and we've gone ahead and fast forwarded right to that first show. So this is going to be a 1-hour weekly show that is going to be taped on Fridays and then I believe shown on Tuesdays on Ustream. So we are going to use this show as a way to kind of build up certain people that we want to really work into big programs. Unfortunately, taping on Fridays, Ricochet is just not available at any Friday, it seems, because he's working every Friday for Dragon Gate. And this month, in March, has been crazy as far as the amount of bookings go. So I don't even know if we're going to do a live show this month. We might just do the television tapings because the availability is better. That's not something I've decided on 100% yet, but I figured we should at least get to the first television show and see how that goes, and then we will probably call it a week from there, at least for this episode. And then the next episode will be future TV tapings and brain blanking and seeing if we're going to set up a live show or not. Sorry for that long, awkward period of silence. Okay, so we have 8 segments here, 55 minutes long. The show has to be between 55 and 65 minutes here. So I have a few different hype angles and 4 matches. The matches we have are Lio Rush versus Dalton Castle. We're going to use this to build up Dalton a little bit more. Lio Rush is talented, but it just seems like he's not ready yet, so we're not going to really push him. We're going to use him to kind of get other guys over. We also have Sean Carr taking on Prakash Sabar. This is going to be a squash match. I want to build Sean up as well. I think we can get some good momentum behind him. We got a hype video for Matt Cross. Cherry Bomb talking about herself a little bit because she's currently injured right now, can't do anything. I am introing the show. And then we're ending with Jessica Havoc versus Shinron. Jessica Havoc has the highest momentum of anybody in the company right now, and if that can continue, we may line her up to be the next contender for the 2CW title, and there is a good chance that we might just put the belt on her if she's going to be that over with the crowd. And her availability is a little bit better than Ricochet's. So that's the thing, is Ricochet is obviously a great champion, but he is so in demand that we probably can't keep it on him for too long. And we're closing the show with AR Fox versus Pepper Parks. Again, just to kind of build up AR Fox, and just because I think these two will put on a good match. So let's go ahead, start the show. So I intro everything. This goes okay with a 31 rating. Next segment, Lio Rush versus Dalton Castle. Not a good match, apparently. Dalton Castle seemed off his game tonight. Hey, my announcing quality lifted the match. Hooray. The color commentary gave the match a boost, which I'm doing both, apparently. So I guess my announcing helps things out a bit. Dalton Castle having a little bit of trouble getting off the blocks here. A little surprised. But, again, TEW doesn't always work the same way the real world does. So even though Dalton Castle is becoming a force in the independent scene in the real world, in here, that may not be the case. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. So heated confrontation between Eddie Edwards and Heidi Lovelace, just furthering their feud. Okay rating, not fantastic, but this is just to kind of set things up for them down the line. Maybe we'll do like a tag match with them next week or something. Cherry Bomb actually putting on a pretty decent promo here. I'm actually pretty pleased by that. So Cherry Bomb doing a good job. Wholesome gimmick that I thought I had signed her as a heel, which can still be a heel thing, but in any case, good rating for her. Glad to see that went over well. Sean Carr and Prakash Sabar did not go as well. Sean Carr seemed off his game tonight. Ben Hamid did some good work at the ringside. Again, the announcing helped things out. Again, we're just trying to get Sean Carr's momentum up, so I'm going to take a look at everybody's stats after this to see how that affected everybody. Matt Cross hype video, just trying to build him up a little bit. No, apparently not a very good rating for the segment. I wonder if like there's a production crew or there's like a production stat that's based off of. I'm sure whoever's watching this will let me know if that's the case. So we move on to, extremely poor match. Jessica Havoc and Shinron just didn't click at all. I was hoping that the high-flying ability of Shinron and the kind of power style of Jessica Havoc would work together well. I took a little bit of a risk with this one, but I guess it didn't work very well. But nonetheless, I think it's hopefully going to continue to build up Jessica Havoc's momentum. All right, let's see how our main event did. Main event did pretty all right. Balta had solid in-ring action, not much in the way of heat. AR Fox gets the win here. They had great chemistry. It showed their performance, so keep that in mind. Maybe we'll continue to work them into a program together. And the crowd left on a good note, so that's good to hear. Overall rating at 29, obviously not the best. Still feel like they don't have enough storylines going on. The show increased our popularity in 40 regions, though, so this show being on the internet, getting out worldwide, is helping us in that area, so that's good. So what we're going to do is, before we bring the show to a close, I'm going to go ahead and take one last look at the roster just to see how the momentum is going for our workers. And then when we do the next episode, we'll continue to book our weekly television program and then see about maybe doing a live special either at the end of March, or actually more likely we're going to be doing that in April. I'm guessing maybe because it's WrestleMania season, there's just a lot of independent dates that are running all at the same time, it seems. Let me see. Let me check Eddie Edwards' morale issues. Happy in a new contract. Please both match. I think he is gonna be okay. Well, I think he'll live with it. Just looking at some other guys here. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at our roster, see our momentum. So, AR Fox, momentum 56. Ben Hameen not doing so well, but he's a lower mid-carder. You know, he's just a manager role. We don't need that really. Bobby Ocean stayed the same because he wasn't booked. Cheech is a 26. Cherry Bomb, wow, actually good momentum considering she has had literally one appearance and it was just a promo. So glad to hear that, and I hope you heal up soon so we can actually get you into the ring. Colin Delaney's momentum's okay. If you notice, unfortunately, because I'm an idiot, Lufisto and Vanessa Craven, I only booked them for a weekend that I wasn't able to use them for, so their contracts ran out. I am planning on bringing them back in, but I'm going to have to probably wait a little bit for the there's like a clearing period, or like I don't know what's a good way to put it, a waiting period that you need to do if somebody's left your company before you can bring them back. So I'm going to have to wait until that kind of expires before I can bring them back in, but I definitely plan on doing so, and then maybe bringing in, I'm hoping by the end of this whole thing to have about 10, a roster of 10 women, and then, you know, maybe like 10 women, 20 men total, do like a 30-man roster of just wrestlers. Maybe I'll try and bring in a female referee too at some point, and then kind of go from there. But let's move on here. Dick Justice, momentum not great. He's at 12. Eddie Edwards, good momentum, obviously, because he's awesome. He's at 50. Guerrero Loco at a 24. Heidi Lovelace at 39. Isis Effects with 22. Jason X, 11. Jay Freddy, 11. Jessica Havoc, 68. So still the same momentum. Didn't hurt her any, but it hasn't really increased at all. Jonathan Barber is a referee. Kevin Graham, momentum of 10. Leo Rush, 18. Matt Cross, 59. Billy Gunn, who is our agent. Hey, I have a momentum of 40. Great. Pepper Parks with a momentum of 37. Prakash Sabar, 17. Punch Advance like 10. Ricochet, our champion, 68. Yeah, I think Jessica Havoc and Ricochet is the match, but I'm a little concerned as to how they'll work with each other if Jessica Havoc and Leo Rush didn't have a good match. Interesting problem. Roderick Strong has not debuted as of yet. Sean Carr's momentum's 29. Shinron, 11. He's not having an easy time of things. Steve McKenzie with a momentum of 23. And finally, Tom Dunn is just a lowly referee. All right, let's see if there's anything else we can do here before discussing the next show. We made $11,000 of profit last month, which was good. A little bit less than January, obviously, but we only ran one show, and it was a smaller show. It was only about half as much attendance as the other ones we had ran previously. So, but still, we're making profit every month. We're making money, so that's a good thing. Hopefully, we can kind of continue that trend and build the prestige of the company, which is slowly increasing, as is our momentum. So all of those things, obviously very good. Trying to see if there's anything else we need to wrap up before bringing this episode to a close. I don't believe so. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Let's Play TEW. Again, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for all the feedback I've been getting so far, and please continue to leave it. If there's any independent wrestlers that you would like to see me book for 2CW, let me know. I might see if I can book them. Certain bigger names I am having a tough time getting, because once they get above the level of like Eddie Edwards or Roderick Strong, they don't want to work with a company that small. But if you have any like lesser known independent guys that you think would be good for 2CW, then let me know, and I'll consider adding them and at least take a look at them. Also, be sure to check out all the other shows we have at Changing the Questions. We have Time Warp on Mondays, Changing the Questions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Booking a Better Wrestler on Wednesday, and of course on Fridays, Let's Play TEW. If you haven't done so already, also please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we are putting out content so often you don't want to miss any of it. So be sure to do that so you can get a notification every time a new episode of any of our shows comes out. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at ChangingTheQs, which is at ChangingTheQS. If you'd like to send us an email, you can do so at changingthequestions@gmail.com. And also please be sure to look us up on Facebook. Just search for Changing the Questions and like us there. And again, thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you for watching this episode. My name is Paul Laporte. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.